Hey YouTube, it's Prime13 with another Transformers video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hearts of Steel Timelines 2-pack Optimus Prime and Starscream. And I gotta say, I was pretty thrilled to see these when they were announced, and I'm definitely happy to have them in hand. Can't wait for the other 2-pack of Bumblebee and Megatron. We'll start by taking a quick look at the box. So first we have this outer sleeve. Let's see if I can try and get a little better in there. Here we have this nice little artwork on the front of Starscream battling Optimus. Starscream's gun is all orange from constantly firing, and Prime has a smoking barrel there. Some nice little details in that artwork. Here we got some steampunky stuff and a Decepticon symbol. On this side we got similar but with an Autobot symbol. On the back we have our product shots. There's the robot modes and the alt modes. And if we take this off, it is essentially those sides of the box on those sides, and then some more steampunk kind of details here, with a bland cardboard binding right here. But we do get like a old lockbox sort of chest lock there, which is pretty neat. And it does open up to reveal the two figures. I did actually put the back packaging back in there so that you could actually see it a little bit. But a very nice display box. Really nice packaging. So there is that. And we do get our lovely instruction booklet with Prime on one side and Starscream on the other. But there is that. And as far as the figures themselves, they are both around deluxe scale. Oh no. But very nice overall. For a quick robot mode comparison, here is our recent Deluxe Devastation Prime, so you can see how they scale next to him. And I'm glad that they're doing some more of these A-list characters in deluxe sizes, because like I know a lot of people are like, oh no, you can't do a deluxe or Voyager, they're not to scale. I like having options for my characters. I think they should not be, you know, locked behind certain size classes just because of which character they are. I think that we should get options. Don't get me wrong, you know, I think that we should have ones that are to scale. I mean, I think that's a good place for like Studio Series figures, but like General Generations, I think we should get some options. But anywho, we will start with Starscream, and very nice sculpt here. Does have moving wing panels here. These are done in a more flexible plastic. Does have propellers up top and on the chest. They do spin, but they lose their spinniness pretty quick. Does come with two accessories of Gatling guns that peg onto his arms, as any Starscream gun should. Unfortunately, they're not really blast compatible. The peg is too short. It's like basically a teeny tiny nub there. So, and one thing to remember is in robot mode, these vents on his shoulders are supposed to face forward, because they can end up like this. So just be aware that that's how they're supposed to be oriented. But again, you know, if that's not how you want to display it, you don't have to. Also, this piece is supposed to be up like this, but I like it flat against his back personally. And let's see, as far as articulation goes, he does have rotation at the head. It can go 360, but it is kind of cut off by his shoulder guard, so you have to really get your fingers in there. Arm can come up that far. Arm can stick straight up. Can't really go 360 due to the huge, you know, wing pack. Do get a bicep swivel. He actually has ratcheted elbows. don't know how well you can hear that, but there is a ratchet in those elbows, which is nice. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately. Probably should have mentioned this earlier, but you can plug the guns into his hand if you want to. Just make sure I get that in there. These sort of hip pieces can move out to the side a bit. His skirt can move up. Can kick. If we, yeah, he kind of can't kick far forward because his leg stuff gets caught. There's a tab on the top of his hips right here that collides with his like back area. But yeah, can kick that far forward and that far back. Does have a nice knee bend, 90 degrees. Thigh swivel. You do get some down at the foot for transformation, and a very nice ankle pivot. So there is that for Starscream. And for Optimus, we get his smokestack blaster, which can fit into his hand. And we also get this shield piece that can plug onto the back of his hand. Or, one thing I do like that they did with this is you can see there's some sculpted detail there on the top, and that actually matches up with this side of his arm. So if you take it and line it up, you can plug that directly onto the front, so you can hold it like this. I will admit this does bug me a little bit because now the Autobot symbol's upside down. I wish they had flipped that, but because like it's on the top of the train in vehicle mode, so it doesn't really matter which way it faces there, but it is what it is. But because I like my Autobot symbol to face this way, I usually put it on the side of his arm. As far as articulation for him goes, nothing at the wrist. His hands are molded in as well. Do get bicep swivel. Do get over 90 degrees at the elbow due to transformation. Full 360 at the shoulder. Do get a bit of a reverse butterfly joint, but that's sort of untabbing his shoulder more than an actual joint. Do get a waist swivel. You can kick that far forward, but it does kind of collide with the skirt armor. Do get over 90 at the knee, so that's nice. So yeah, thigh swivel. Does get some up and down due to the transformation at the foot, and we do get some ankle tilt. So yeah. Oh, and his head is on a very nice ball joint. It's kind of on a pegged ball joint, so it gets plenty of movement. So yeah, there is that. And unfortunately there's no like opening chest gimmick as far as I could tell, no matrix, but I don't really need that badly. You know, I'm fine without it. But yeah, overall, very cool figure. And they both have some very nice sculpted detail. They got plenty of rivets and stuff all over them. It's not really going to show up on my crappy camera, but if you get your own set, you'll definitely be able to see it. It's very well sculpted. But yeah, let's go ahead and start transforming them. So again, we'll start with Starscream. Move Optimus off to the side here. You want to make sure that these wing panels are flipped out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come here to this skirt piece, flip it up, and use that to lift up his entire torso, which is then going to cover up his head and click into the wing pack. If you don't already have this folded down, you want to make sure to do that as well. You're going to take his arms and rotate them like so that his fists are facing like, you know, like that, because there's a little tab here that's going to go into this slot on the wings. You're going to bring that and make sure that those tab in, and then you want to bring the gun around to face forward. You're going to tab that in, bring that gun around. Then we're going to bring these hip skirts forward, separate from the legs, and you're going to fold up these pieces and you're going to want to plug these in underneath the engines. And you're sort of want to wiggle this because I don't know if there's like an extra hinge in there somewhere that it's kind of hard to see, or if it's just the way that the softer plastic moves. But you basically want to wiggle up so that they line up, and then plug them in. You're going to bring it up, wiggle it up, plug it in. There's that. Now at this point you can fold the skirt piece down. Then we're going to bring the legs the rest of the way down. Come back here to this red piece, flip that all the way up. Then we're going to rotate his legs inward and fold in his feet, like so. Then we're going to put his legs into right angles like this, and then this tab right here is going to plug into this hole on the middle wing, and just make sure to plug that in there. Then you want to come back here and make sure that these tabs on his hip joints are facing straight. Make sure they're straight. This has already kind of gotten itself into position. We just need to make sure it's plugged in. And then when that's all done, you're going to bring this piece down over those two tabs, like so. And there we have Starscream in his flying machine mode. Very interesting alt mode. Yeah, it's a pretty wacky design, but it's cool. It's definitely cool. And it does have rolling wheels, so you can roll it fairly well, all things considered. And again, the propellers spin. They don't, spin super well, but they do spin. So yeah, there is that for Starscream. And now we'll do Prime. So Prime is a little bit more finicky, but essentially you want to start by turning his arms sideways like so. Then you're going to fold them up like this. And these don't really tap in this way, so don't worry about that. It'll get locked into place later. But then, after that, you're going to come back here and you're going to pull on his head and bring his whole backpack assembly up. And then just sort of bring it out on this armature right here. Then you are going to fold his head back and then fold this red panel outward like that. Then you're going to fold this head the rest of the way down. Then you can bring this whole thing up on the hinge and tab that red thing, or the red panel, into the top of the front of the train. Going to rotate his arms again here at the shoulders and bring those back. Bring those back, and they will tab together here. Then you also want to make sure that they tab into his little waist piece here with these little blue tabs. So there is that. Then you want to take the skirt armor and they're on ball joints, but they're pretty restricted. But basically there's this little gap here, and you want to bring them up and over and lock them into place in this. They just sort of slide over and just sort of sit there, and that'll form the cow catcher for the front of the train. Then we want to come here to the back. We want to fold these to the side first and then fold them back like so. So down. Nope, I did that wrong. I just forgot what I literally just said, didn't I? Wow. Yeah, fold them down. Okay, now you're just being stubborn. And then fold them out. Then you're going to accordion the knee like so. Accordion the knee like so. Then fold the feet all the way in like so. Fold the foot all the way in. Then while you're bringing this up, there's a tab here on the back of the thigh that's going to go into this black waist piece again. but you also need to hook onto this tab here, right here into this tab behind where the knee ended up. So you want to bring that in, but you also want to just bring that over. Bring that in, and then bring that over. Then when you're at this point, you can collapse the legs together and tab them together, and then tab these two red pieces together. And there we have the bulk of the train. Now we take the shield, and we want the Autobot symbol facing down, because there's this little groove right here. It's going to clip over the two arm pieces. And then this will come over the back, like so. And then we're going to take the gun, we're going to open it up, fold in the barrel, close it back up, and now there are two little... sorry about that cut, my camera battery died. Anyway, there are two ridges here on the smokestack right there that are going to go into these two slots, and you can see where the handle has a little ridge molded in for it. And you're just gonna plug that in on top, like so. And then we got a little choo-choo train. Very adorable. And it does have rolling wheels. The middle wheels are fake, but this one, and this one here, so a total of 5 wheels, are real. And he does roll around very nicely. So there is that. And we'll go ahead and do a couple size comparisons. Here they are next to that Deluxe Prime. Again, lower this a little bit, just to give you an idea of how they stack up. Here they are next to a Earthrise Seeker. And since I actually have this guy, I'll go ahead and bring him in. Here they are next to the Night Morpher Commander by Mastermind Creations. Fun little fact, if you didn't know, this is actually the very first toy that Mastermind Creations ever produced and released. And this is actually the first production run, which means he has breakage problems, which is why I didn't show him off in robot mode. Yeah, you can sort of see how he looks a lot more complete with the trailer. If they do get like a third-party release of a trailer for this guy, I will actually probably get it, because this is one of those few times where like I really feel like the trailer is necessary. It really does complete the look, because you know, with your usual you know, cab, you know, that they're fine without the trailer, in my opinion. It's cool when they're included, but a lot of times it just ends up being a big gray box. Given this one, you know, they included a bunch of features in the trailer to make it more worthwhile. So, but it really does feel like half a train without it. So, but yeah, a very cool pair of figures. And really excited to get the other timelines with Bumblebee and Megatron. And I hope they do more Hearts of Steel figures. I would love to see the Steamboat Shockwave. I would love to get the other two Seekers. I really hope that they do more with this line, because there were some other characters that did show up. But yeah, very happy with this set overall. It is a Hasbro exclusive, or Hasbro Pulse exclusive, I should say. And after like tax and shipping and everything, it does come out to be like $73, which is a lot, for 2 deluxes, but it is what it is. If it was like the usual like $50 for 2 deluxes, I would have no issues whatsoever, because these guys are pretty solid, and they do look very good. They are very fun figures. Very happy with them. Overall, I will say that I do think Starscream ended up coming out a little better. Excuse me. Like, just the overall execution feels a little more straightforward and smooth. The panels in the arms and this top one here sometimes like to be a little finicky on Optimus, but otherwise he's still very solid. I think I'd give them, if I were to give them individual ratings, I think I would give Optimus an 8 and Starscream a 9. Just because it's hard to really give them a perfect 10 as deluxes. But overall, I think the package itself, like as the 2-pack, I think that's like a solid 9.5 overall. Really, the only downside is they're a little expensive for 2 deluxes, but there's not really any major flaws aside from that. So yeah, I really hope that these timeline figures do well. I'm excited to see which ones we'll get for next year, because we do already have a unconfirmed listing, or rather we have a listing, just we don't know what it's going to be. But from what I understand, these timeline figures are going to mainly be Prime, Starscream, Megatron, and Bumblebee. So who knows, maybe that's how we're going to get our Trans-Tech figures. Maybe they'll pick from some other small comic series. Not too many other ones come to mind right off the top of my head right now, but I really do want to see where these timeline figure lines go. I hope it does well, because it looks like we could potentially get some really cool designs out of it, because I've been wanting Hearts of Steel for forever. That is just such a cool concept. But yeah, other than that, not too much else to say. Yeah, I definitely recommend these figures. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'll go ahead and wrap things up, and this is going to be Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.